Hello YouTube. It's been 4 months since my last video about Neocities, and I thought, fuck it. I really needed to make an update. So here that is. Hi everyone. My name is Hara and welcome to my oasis. It's now 2026, a whole new year, which means we shamelessly reuse our former resolutions and tell ourselves this is the year. But for me, I'm just going to continue working on my projects with one goal in mind: becoming a full-time artist. Which isn't just about the money, but in general, putting my projects first, which includes my website. So, last video, I kind of went over why I started coding and my ambitious plans that would follow. And after all that, I barely scratched the surface. To be honest, I scrapped tons of my ideas because it's just too far above my skill levels, or I just felt like a little goes a long way. It really does, especially when you lack experience. After releasing that version, I took a huge break to focus on my art. The goal was to post on social media, and I fell flat again. When it reached December, I realized I hadn't touched my website, and I set my mind to finishing before the end of the year. I was pretty successful, though there were some major setbacks that I will talk about in this video. First, let's go over the current state of my website. Okay, so one of the biggest changes to my website, aside from general structure, is the color scheme. In my previous version, I had a lot of pink going on, which I'm not too big of a fan of. Purple is literally my favorite color. I would use it in everything, so I fixed that. I went on colors.com, I found a good color scheme, and I'm like, I'm sticking to it. So we got light purple and dark purple as the contrast, and it works swimmingly. Like, I love the way it looks now. This is my opening screen. Previously, there were some images there. I will add images later because I want this to be more visually interesting. Maybe add like a gradient in the background, something. But I wanted just anything for now because I think I was inspired by a lot of people that had like um entry buttons to their website. I really like the aesthetic behind it, you know. I I I wanted it to look like a login screen initially, and that was the goal. But then I just decided to keep it simple because I wanted to focus on the main set of the website and not the entry point. You get what I mean? All right. So, let's enter. Okay. So, as you just saw, I have a preloader, which I got from insert creator here. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but I really like that preloader. I think it's fun and gives the site some animation, which is what I really wanted. The windows are still movable, which is very important to me. That was an aspect that I need to keep 1000%. My windows are movable, not resizable anymore, which I'll talk about why later. But here I have my welcome, little intro. The video will be out soon. Hello YouTube. Here's just my blog window, which is an embed from Tumblr. One of these days I will have like a more in-depth change log, but for now I don't get into the specifics. Like, that's what this button's gonna be for. It's not done yet, but it's there. Next is the resource library, which is one of the things that I did talk about in terms of ambitious projects. I did have the JavaScript file that I wanted, the perfect JavaScript file for the vision that I was having. However, I had to give up on that because it literally, not that it was difficult to work with, but it was difficult to execute what I was having in my mind. And I was like, I'm done with this. It needs to be simple. It needs to be readable and simple. Sometimes simple is just the way to go. And that's really what I want to like stress in terms of making a website, especially as a beginner. Make shit simple. It does not need to be complex. So we just have a list of items here. Very, very simple code. You don't need to do anything fancy. Here's my profile, which used to be a separate HTML, but now it's here. So I got my little information on the side, a little picture, little bio, some of my media, characters. I just added different, like, many different tabs because I'm like, why not? One of these days I will add a web ring, but right now I have not figured out any to join. And stamps. I need to find stamps. I haven't done that. But I have these little buttons. They're really cute. You can't really see them that well from here, but I might zoom in right now. But these buttons are really cute. I made a couple of them. I made these ones down here. Anyways. The draw box, which I'm not entirely sure how this works, and I think it's still broken, but it's there. And the guest book, which you guys should sign. Please sign the guest book. You guys should sign the guest book when you visit my website. Please, please, please. All right, so let's get off of that. Wait, did I show how the buttons work? Oh my god, look, the buttons are functioning. I worked so hard on that. Just look, it's beautiful. It's amazing, literally amazing. Okay, let me close that. All right, so another big expansion is the file explorer. I was so excited to make this. So cute. Here right now in the documents tab, we have these inserts, these text files that are actual stories that I wrote myself. I, aside from being an artist and a coder now, I really like writing. None of this is like fan fiction, but I did once upon a time write fan fiction. It wasn't good, but you know, in the age of AI, that really doesn't matter. These are just movie plots from my OCs, and I just wanted to put them on there just to have some content, and maybe you guys gain insight on like the kind of like creator I am, good or bad, I don't know, but yeah, have fun with that. Oh, and this one, receipt. This is actually like my new credit page, kind of. It just links you to people that are also linked here in the marquee down below. But it links to creators that I really like and creators that I'm heavily inspired by. And then I give like a little insert, like a little just a peace of mind. And I wrote it to, you know, continue to inspire people to code and stuff like that, you know, just a little message for the people, you feel me? This will be expanded on, but I found the page and I really liked it because it literally is like a CVS receipt. It just keeps going and going and going. I just love how it just keeps going forever. It's really fun. Yeah. The gallery images, I wanted to put my art here, some of my art here, but that was going to take too long, and I wanted this to release on New Year's. Like at the start of the new year, I wanted to just drop this update. And there was already enough of a delay, so I didn't really do too much with the gallery. But next update, we will have a gallery, and I think by then I will make possibly a separate website in itself to have like host all of my art on, like from like not the start, but like very early on in my quote unquote career. None of these tabs really have anything. My network, there's my friends. Hopefully I make more friends that code, but that's my personal friend that helps me with my website. And that's really it. These are my old logos in the gallery, and my new ones I made pretty half-assed, but I like it. They're more cohesive. Before I was using some that I downloaded, but I like the ones that I made myself. I think they're cool. And then this, oh yeah, another cool thing. This one, the little start menu disappears when you click off of it now. It's so simple, but it's actually not. It was such a thing before. It didn't do that, and now I'm excited because it does disappear. And I'm very, very happy. Oh, very, very happy. Yeah, all of these buttons are functional. This will send you outside the website. This isn't ready yet. I will have a window in the browser, or like a place in the browser where you can look at my comics and zines that I will make in the future. I was working on a comic, but it didn't get released. This is going on for too long, so let's get back to the script. I don't know how to write JavaScript, so everything I'm complaining about is purely based on code my friend gave me to add to my website. JavaScript is pretty complex. It can do many cool things that I wish CSS could. For instance, it's what gives my elements the ability to move like real browsers, windows, or allow me to play music. It's a wonderful language, until you have to do a lot of troubleshooting. One of the biggest additions to my code was DSA stacks, which isn't JavaScript exclusive, but in general terms, it is a push and pop system that allows for the recall of an element. In order to execute the navigation functionality, we needed to have two stacks, one to keep track of where we're going and the other where we came from. Initially, we only had one, but it wouldn't allow me to hold the first page as a start of the stack. Now, unfortunately, I don't know the specifics of how in-depth the dataset can get, but here's my code. Another setback I was having with this release was my oddly conflicting CSS. I'm still no expert. I still make silly mistakes, and I honestly don't know how they happen. For instance, I wanted there to be a gap between the text and my windows. Indentation and positioning is still very, very difficult for me. And funny, it was causing the content to poorly overlap or be completely static if they were resized. For reference, my windows had the element top corner and it worked fine for a bit, but once I decided to fix this little issue, it turned out to be much bigger than I had initially realized. At first, I would use overflow hidden, scroll bar with none, but it didn't like it very much. I don't want to get too technical about it, but it was extremely disappointing for me. My open window function started acting up. It was New Year's Eve, and I was ready to absolutely rage quit. But after a good night's rest, I spent the first day of the year going over my code and finding some band-aid solutions. Solutions that kept me from going insane. On a more positive note, I'm very happy with what I have so far, and I'm happy and excited to continue again. One day, though. I'm currently taking a big break. Maybe around May I'll pick it up again and hopefully make a part 3. So, yeah. Keep creating and keep coding, guys. See you next time.